Pipeline in the building.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Only Pipeline in the Building. With me, I have, as always, my stellar co-host, Yuval. Hello, Yuval.
Partner in crime.
Your partner in crime. Yeah, white collar crime. And of course, I'm Sean Hector. For those that don't know, originally from Canada, living in Amsterdam today, and in a director of sales position. And the reason that Yuval and I are talking is because our relationship goes way back to the days when we used to work together. And Yuval, what do you do?
Yeah, I do marketing. I work in marketing and specializes in demand generation and everything about supply and demand and generating demand. But let's kick us off with, I thought to start this episode by sharing an email I just got, outreach from a BDR. I don't know what it's about, right? I just read the first few lines. I'm going to read the whole thing with you, and we're also going to share it on the screen. And let's see what you say. So just to give background, this person called me earlier on this evening, around 8-ish p.m. And I was like, listen, man, send me an email. I promise I will reply. And then he's like, okay, cool. Sending you an email now. He hung up. So I'm going to read you the email. The name of the guy, I'm going to leave out of this, right?
You can redact it. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Subject line, just spoke on the phone. MQLs for Guy.
That's your boss, right?
No, Guy's not my boss. I don't know any Guy, actually, in the company.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's move on.
Are you the guy? Are you Guy?
No, it's a capital Guy. So
it's a name.
It's a name, yeah. Yuval, we just spoke on the phone. You promised a reply. Smiley face. Sales rep here to marketing as an SDR. I'm reading you as is. I used to dread ABM campaigns. You're using Sixth Sense and Demand Base, great tools, but how does a rep know exactly what is behind the signal? They always turn into a list of hot accounts, and no one touches it because no one knows exactly how they're showing intent or why. Not sure if you hear the same from Guy or someone else. That's a real name from the team. But this new way is different with the company name. I can see people behind every engagement, things like web visitor, job changes, blah, 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 90 plus more signals. So for once, marketing and sales actually work together. Teams like Grammarly and the company I don't know are seeing 2-3 times more meetings with this place. Worth a pick? You might have heard from us on LinkedIn or our 18-year-old SDR Kate.
What?
That's it. That's the end of the email.
How long is that email? That almost seems like a short story.
Yeah, it's a short story. 8 sentences, each separated by a line. I actually read it. I promised the guy a reply, so I think that like the opening line was a killer.
Okay.
Meaning he
so you
actually
like you promised to reply piece of the email? Okay.
Yeah, we just spoke on the phone. He promised to reply, right? It's like the Inigo Montoya method, right?
Mm-hmm.
About how to properly introduce yourself to the conversation. My name is Inigo Montoya. You're saying who you are. It's hello.
Yes.
It's greetings first. He didn't do any greeting. My name is Inigo Montoya. You say who you are. You killed my father. It just gives the context for the conversation. And prepare to die. It's setting expectations for the meeting. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's just weird. What do you make of that?
Yeah. I mean, aside from the length, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, do you even understand what he's trying to sell you from the email beyond like something to do with ABM?
It's the anonymizer, right? So they're selling me something that should like go around GDPR and stuff like this. And
we
they
love
should
those
tell
tools.
you it's Sean was on the website. It's going to say Sean was on the website.
Right.
Realistically speaking, it's not It's not a real thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think in that email, the rep basically tried to throw every sales tactic at the book to you, right? Like, of course, like, okay, so he referenced your phone call earlier. He tried to reference you, this man Guy, as social proof. I think he did also mention someone else, but like way off base there. Um, I didn't sense any like pain, like any sense of we can solve a problem for you, other than like, do you use an ABM and we can fit within that. um, I also think it was funny when he was like worth a peek, and the call to action was buried underneath another couple sentences at the bottom. So what are you supposed to do with that? And actually, let me ask you this: what did you respond to that?
Oh, um, I respond to that. Nice approach, bro. But we don't need your services. Also, the information you shared was about 50% accurate. Best of luck. Also, the tech stack information was not correct. So I'm like, really through everything out there.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Like in this world where everybody's trying to sell you pieces of the pie, or like pieces of data, like and on top of that, like every single every single company is trying to pitch you like the world, right? They're like, oh, we're going to do this for you. And it's like, well, like, are you really? It's like even looking at like ABM tools and signals and whatnot that says like, oh, there's some intent with this account. Like, is there really like intent with this account? Who's searching this? Like, I feel like they're just serving us like snake oil and saying, yeah, trust us. Like, you can close accounts from this. But it's like, it's the wild west of like data identification right now.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think it's a topic for a whole different, episode about, the anonymization and, the six senses of the world and how to prioritize accounts based on engagement, which is, it's something we did together, but also I'm doing right now, and I'm sure you're doing with your accounts. Um, we did want to take the conversation a little bit to the AI
Well,
SDR kind of
well, this is
thing,
actually
automated email.
this lends really well into this, right? And the thing is like everybody's inbox is crowded, right? Everybody's getting sales emails today, and like I myself sent a lot, quite a few sales emails today, so I can talk about some of the strategies that I send. But especially in an SDR and BDR role, and Yuval, you and I have talked about what's going to happen with the future in AI, is that like especially with like lean teams, which is probably where things will go, you got to do a lot with maybe not very little, because these tools cost a lot of money to use, but like you have to use your most valuable resource is time, right? And so like any time spent calling numbers, for example, that don't connect or go straight to voicemail, or anytime you're sending like emails that throw every sales tactic at the book, at the prospect, like it's an attention economy, and you're really just trying to use a subject line to get an open. Use the first two lines, which have worked for you, right? To then get them to read the body of the email. But then the body of the email, you actually have to like, either identify pain or speak to stuff that may be left unsaid, right? Like I was listening to someone on a podcast the other day, and they talked about like, everyone can prospect signals, but it's really like what's happening inside an account, or like what a sales leader actually cares about that he's not posting on LinkedIn, right? Like, and so that's information you can get from the broader picture. But the main like point here is like my goal as a business development leader is like high quality and high quantity communication, right? And one of the things we've started to use, I think I've mentioned it before, is a AI kind of chatbot on the website. I think you yourself, as well as other numerous leaders, have like been the victims of like Drift and Ada and whatever else, where it's like they are very functional tools, but God, like, are they sometimes a pain in the butt to like set up and keep. I was gonna say keep up to date consistently, but more so decide what's actually valuable to follow up on, right? Like so many people at SysAid, right, would come into the chat and just spout nonsense, right? Or leave some garbage email behind or whatever, right? It's like the internet is a wild place. And you and I have had conversations in the past about like what are happening, like who's submitting these forms, like what human being on the other side of this computer is putting in this information. Anyways, so point being, it's an AI chatbot. But once you put in your email, but let's say you don't book a meeting or you don't follow through with a demo, I think this is really cool. Is that we've now created, or they've created, some cadencing AI software, right? And so I've written some of the email copy with it. But what's really cool is like within the email itself, you can then leave or insert instructions similar to how you would insert variables into like a sales loft or a gong cadence. And so you can insert instructions to chat to the AI bot to say like instructions like, hey, you all, like thanks for coming to the website. I noticed that you were checking out this resource. Because you were checking out this resource, this is what I would recommend for you now, right? And then like potentially a qualifying question. And the best part is that if the prospect responds, the bot will then also respond back, right? And starts trying to schedule time, booking that demo, etc. Which is not something I've seen before, but it's just such a great way to not only capture that upper mid funnel point of like if someone comes to your website, they can talk to an AI bot that has the entire wealth of your knowledge base, right? So like coming back to the attention economy, people want the information that they want right away. They don't get it, going somewhere else, right? So captivating their attention there, but then also plugging a hole in the funnel, well, or like making sure there's no hole in the funnel without any human intervention, which is pretty cool. So we're in the early testing days of this at the moment. We haven't yet rolled it out across our full website, but I think I just want to take the software that's in the follow-up and put it into my regular cadences, right? Because I want personalized emails, I want pain-led emails, and I want things that are like relevant mention in emails to like specific prospects. And it's hard to do that on a one-to-one basis these days.
So you kind of touched this, but if you can be specific about the use cases for cadencing, like when and where are you going to use it, and where you keeping the communication to yourself.
What do you mean? Sorry, like where am I going to use it and when I'm going to keep the information myself? Explain that more.
When are you when will the AI, what's the use case for AI to do the cadencing and respond and do the entire communication, of course, with the prompting and everything? And when, what type of communications, what type of leads, what type of whatever you are saying, I'm not putting AI in this. I want to handle the communications myself.
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, at this point in time, the only two such scenarios where we're using this at the moment is when someone comes into the bot and either leaves their email and answers the qualification questions but doesn't book a time with sales. They dropped off right at that last point. Or when someone just puts their email in and doesn't answer any of the other qualification questions. And the AI within that will continue to ask the qualification questions like during the follow-up. And so that's really like the use case right now. But like I really just want to, like, anytime I'm sending outbound emails, like I'd love immediate personalization. However, right, like you and I think our generation and those that are coming up after us are very savvy to like what now sounds like an AI email. Like I think it's very quick for people to like catch on, right? Just saw this, right? Or noticed your promotion, right? Or this and that. It's like these were tried and true sales strategies for so long, and now all of a sudden they've just been, because we did it for so long, it's just the best practice for the AI, right? And so I think it's like, even with this bot that we're using, it's really iterative in the sense like we're actively training their LLM model to respond in different ways. And not only that, but for the first time, like I'm actually in the LLM of the bot and writing my own instructions and programming the AI itself as well, which is pretty cool. I don't know. It's things have moved quickly, I guess, is all I can say.
You know what you're doing, man? You are doing marketing job. Like this, these are the problems that we are encountering, since the digital world blew up, right? You're really trying hard to get the attention of the audience. And even without AI, in the past few years, the ads, especially for SaaS companies that we work with, it's kind of all the same. Boost your productivity, enhance your effectiveness. I can repeat those type of sentences, but
Yeah.
with a cool dashboard screen that everyone's gonna like, and all companies are doing like the same. We say in Hebrew Stanz, like it's the same. Maybe in German as well. Like it's the same kind of thing. Like it's a template. It just repeats itself.
Yeah.
Um, and now AI is doing the same things because this is what we did, and this is the information the AI learned from. And now the challenge is how to adjust the LLMs, like you said, to have a specific tone of voice and to stand out
Hmm.
in a positive way, and not in a like the way I knew the AI was used to the email I just read you, is that the information was inaccurate, meaning it was pulling information from open source somewhere where it says that guy is working on this team. Maybe there's a guy working on
You
the
should
video team.
check if there is a
It's a
guy
it's a
somewhere
it's a big team. It's a big team,
in
but
a large company.
yeah, it's a large company, so there could be a guy. Everyone needs a guy, right?
Sure. Yeah. Well, that's the thing with like firmographic data, right? It's like, well, are you using this or tech stack data, technological data? It's like, oh, you're using this and this. It's like, it's the most inaccurate stuff. Zoom info anywhere that's doing tech stacks. It's just like, it's not accurate. This shit changes all the time. Stop throwing a dart at a board with a blindfold on.
Honestly, I hope I know this podcast doesn't get like a lot of we're just starting up, right? So if Zoom Info people are listening, please don't zoom in. But I feel like they're guessing, right? It's a large company. They're probably using Salesforce. Great guess, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Genius.
they are a startup. They're probably using um, HubSpot. Great stuff. That's at least that's my thing. Um,
Yeah, and like, hey, listen, this also extends past like sales. Well, I guess recruitment is sales as well. But like, I've gotten emails that are sent to me that are, IC roles that I would have taken 10 years ago because I did that 10 years ago on my resume. I'm like, or on my LinkedIn. It's like, but you didn't actually look, like you didn't actually check if that was the right information.
Want to hear a funny
Yeah,
story about that?
yeah, I do.
Yeah, so when I was 21, okay, I'm 35 now. When I was 21, I was working for 2 months in as a waiter at a wedding hall, okay?
Okay.
2 months,
Two
a waiter.
months.
Last year, when I was 34, I've gotten a call from the event manager, and he's like, "Are you available this evening to waiter?"
What?
And I'm I'm like, for real, like he's going like I'm missing witness. I'm like, man, we're 15 years past that. Like I haven't heard from you in more than 10 years. Like what the hell is going on?
What did he say to that? That's crazy.
It's just like never mind. But like you don't know these people. Like they needs someone. If you're not that someone, you are
Yeah,
garbage
sure.
to him, right?
Yeah, sure.
That was super fun. It's the same as the icy approach you get for being this 18-year-old BDR.
Yeah.
Why do I care he's 18 years old? That it's legal that they employ him? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think, this is a topic that we'll continue to touch on because everybody's screaming from the rafters like it's a gold rush, like it's all this and all that. And like, yes, I know it's gonna be amazing. But it's very interesting to be watching this as it happens now and know that it's going to impact the next 20 years of our career, right? Or however long we stay in the workforce. Versus my dad, right? Someone like my dad who's, a couple of years from retirement. He's like, "Ugh, I could care less."
Yeah, I think in our generation we need to adjust much more quickly, and
Yeah.
we need to be willing to change and to shift shift focus and state of mind really quickly in order to just stay relevant. And for us, we want to lead. We don't just want to stay relevant. So it puts like the extra pressure on us because we don't need just to make sure we are ready. We need to make sure our team is ready. So I think this is the challenging part.
Well, that's exactly it, right? There's a quote for this, but I think back to like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, right? At the beginning of the movie, Charlie's dad is putting toothpaste caps on toothpastes, but by the end, he's like working on the machines that because he's replaced by the machines, and then he's repairing the machines that replaced him, right? And so that's why, and I would recommend this to anyone. And I know you're doing it yourself, but start programming these things, start knowing how to craft your prompts and craft your vision through AI. Because like even though there's challenges now, very quickly, right? It'll be the center of everything that you do in order to stay relevant at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Speaking of relevancy, you wanted to talk about go-to-market meetings.
Yeah, we used to have it 2 times a week. And for us, we got like we were both that like this assembly was given to us, meaning we've been told you have these 2 meetings a week where you are expected to talk about your results, right?
Well, it's like it's in any again, I'm gonna butcher it, but like in any culture, there's codified laws, right? And things that have been there for X amount of time that don't change just because you're a part of it now. And that was something. It was just codified in the culture.
Yeah. The only thing that has changed with those meetings was that it moved from 10 p.m. for me to 4 p.m., which was a much blessed change for my family life mostly.
Yeah, well, sucked for me. I moved from 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock to 8 o'clock, 8
Yeah,
a.m. So I
yeah.
lost out
I'm sorry about
on that
that.
trade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm
No, but it
sorry
was
about that.
brutal that
But
you guys were on these at like 10 o'clock at night.
yeah, but we can talk about the hours difference. But I actually wanted to touch on the fact that and what's going on in those meetings because we were talking about our each specific roles in this meeting, right? When it's a go-to-market meeting. So for someone that's listening to this call and like doesn't know what we're talking about, it's everyone in the go-to-market from marketing, BDR, sales, CS, partners. They all look at their responsibilities in the funnel, in the go-to-market motion, and they report back to the business, right? There was a meeting with the CEO and all the executives of where do we stand? We set ourselves up for goals and KPIs at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of the quarter, at the beginning of the month, and we want to see where, what's the attainment for what we promised ourselves we're gonna do. So marketing is usually talking about marketing stuff, the amount of leads we brought in, up until pipeline, along with the BDRs. The BDRs are talking about both inbound and outbound and the results and conversion rates and some good meetings booked and qualified opportunities. And then sales talking about the actual opportunities that are on the table that should be closed during this week, this month, like in the close future. And of course, CS and partnership are talking about the same things in terms of closing the deals, renewals, and things around that.
Yeah.
The reason I'm saying that because I found, and I'm asking around, I have a lot of friends in the industry. Not a lot of companies do that. Like this is a very mature go-to-market move. Just the fact that these meetings happen and that the whole funnel can be investigated, and it's
Yeah.
always a chance to map where the gaps are. Yeah. So because now at WalkMe we try this conversation happens, but in a lot of different places. So we try to get people together to discuss the entire funnel, and it's very important from a leadership perspective to have it around where can we help, like to come as an active service, especially from marketing. Like I can't, in a sales-led motion, I can't close deals. I just can't. No one's gonna come and put their credit card for um, 5, 6 numbers uh,
No,
of
doesn't a webinar
gala
count as a
there.
deal for you?
Yeah,
Webinar
yeah,
attendee?
it's
I have to say, actually, you made a good point where I feel like at a certain point, the attitude in those go-to-market meetings switched from why aren't you doing your job correctly to how can I help? And I think we probably understand like when that ultimately happened. But like there was like a genesis of like, okay, how can I help? And me and being, the person that I am, like, no, I'm fine. I don't need anything. I just need more leads. That's really it. So I think that's another lesson that I learned was to ask for help like when you needed it, because no one wants to see you fail.
yeah, and one of the things that I've learned from that, now when I'm reevaluating and reintroducing some of the concepts that we went through together, and this exact tension that happened that we got over, right? But I wanna skip that if possible. You know what I mean? And for an example, I had a conversation with one of the BDR leaders today, discussing about what metrics we're gonna measure during this meeting and what he wants to get from us, what type of information that's gonna help him prioritize better, activate his team better. And he's telling me if you can please in those meetings report to us if the BDRs meet SLAs or not. And I'm like, I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to do that. I can help you understand. I can help you understand what good looks like. I can try to get you the
Yeah.
data and to help you, craft like the technical stuff and playbook, everything around it, I can help. In those meetings, I'm not going to say, oh, listen, BDRs, that was not good. It took you a lot of time to respond. Do you like this?
Yeah.
It's my old person voice. It took you a lot
That
of
was
time
your
to
old person.
respond.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
can't really tell a difference from your regular voice. No, I think you're setting up these go-to-market meetings for the first time, and I think you have a really big opportunity to create a really productive and helpful culture, right? And set this. You have to model it, obviously, and potentially nominate another champion within that group to like, model it with you. But if you set those expectations, I think you'll come out with a really productive like meeting style at the end of the day.
I'm going to share with you now, and we can wrap things up with this. But this is the mission statement I wrote for this meeting. Okay. So help me create it.
Our regional go-to-market pods exist to drive alignment and collaboration across go-to-market teams, ensuring every initiative contributes directly to pipeline and revenue growth. Each pod is empowered to adapt to local market realities while maintaining global alignment, enabling smarter decisions and stronger regional performance. Well, I feel like I know what my mission
Big words, right?
is. I think that was really good. Did you use ChatGPT for that? Be honest.
100%.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's the M dash in there, so like it's clear.
Yeah, but it's with style. And also it's about the information you put there. Like I was like, ask me questions to help me understand how to write this mission statement in a way that's gonna be understandable to those stakeholders and so on. So I needed to answer like 17 questions or something like that just to get this three
So
three
yeah,
sentences.
do you think you would have spent less time actually just writing it yourself than answering the 17 questions?
No, my English is not that good. I'm not, I was I was never going to say adapt to local market realities. Also, what smarter means? Smarter decisions.
What do you mean
Smarter decision.
smarter? Smart.
Smarter. Yeah, I don't know smart, man. You see, it's like
Sure. And on that note, thank you for the podcast.
yeah, see you next week.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Only pipeline in the building.